Hi, and welcome to our video on the introduction to our GEOM90007 Finder project, an interface system serving tourists visiting the Melbourne city. In this video, we will firstly introduce the project background, then the system structure will be shown. We've split the topic into two themes, cafe and pub, and travel destinations, which will show charming places information to audiences. Each of them will be introduced as the same structure shown in this page. This interface system is for tourists visiting the city of Melbourne to give some insights on experiencing diverse cultures there. To develop this system, multiple tools were used. The platform is Bootstrap. We use Python to extract our data and preparing word cloud. The front-end languages HTML, CSS, and JS are to design web layout. We plotted charts with eCharts, F2, and G2 according to their characteristics to implement desired style. We've also prepared locations in the map with Mapbox. GitHub is the tool we use to control version and collaborate with each other. The repo is private because of academic integrity. Our system structure is shown in this page. We have a home as the index. It directs to two sub-pages, cafe and pub, and travel destinations. They are the index page for their sub-pages, and their successor pages' contents are shown below. Notice that for cafe and pub, each of them has the same information method. In total, there are 12 pages. Now we will introduce our first theme, cafe and pub. Our data are top 30 cafes and pubs chosen from TripAdvisor. Locations are extracted from the Google Map. For Mapbox, we transfer the data into GEOM90007. In the development of the website, we use data in the form of JSON. Each page contains navigators to their predecessors and successors. Specifically, for home pages of this theme, it has maps to show locations of our recommended places. For analysis pages of each theme, we provide charts and some text explanations. Specifically, to show the proportion, we use pie chart in suburb analysis. To show the sorted order, we use bar chart in both reviews and analysis and cost and scores analysis.
As tourists, when you open the homepage, you may have interest on either cafes and pubs or travel destinations. You can be directed to each index page of these themes by clicking text in Navigator, or banners, or titles of the main body texts. Now we're heading to the index page of cafes and pubs. In this theme, we have two subthemes, cafes and pubs. We divided them by maps of different contrasts, as the contrast is the most obvious signal for audiences. The cafe has a bright contrast, while the pub has a dark one. For each theme, tourists can be navigated to different analysis pages by titles under related images. We wish to show superb distribution of pubs and cafes with pie charts. We found our data are highly imbalanced because CBD has the most cafes and pubs. Although pie chart is not the best form, it will not make members invisible while polygon will. Thus, we use it to present data. This is a cafe superb analysis. And this is a pub superb analysis. We found the Melbourne CBD has the most recommended cafes and pubs of all suburbs. For review analysis, we rank data in the descending order on view amounts. From the dataset, we chose top 5 data to recommend to tourists and provide them with useful comments from Zomato. Tourists can click buttons here to direct to the homepage of the cafe or pub. This is a cafe page. We found top 5 cafes with the most reviews are these. This is a pub page. We find top 5 pubs with the most reviews are these. For cost and score analysis, we chose bar chart for the same reason. We think tourists click into this page will care cost more. Thus, we rank data in the ascending order of average cost. We choose top 5 cheapest cafes and pubs and list useful comments from TripAdvisor for them. You can click button heading to the homepage of recommended cafes and pubs as well. This is the cafe page. We find top 5 cafes with the most reviews are these. This is the pub page. We find top 5 cheapest pubs with the most reviews are these. During our design of the cafes and pubs theme, we obeyed 4 principles. Data density are not too much nor too few. For data correspondence, although we chose some data, but according to the rank on data, to not mislead tourists. With maps and charts, we present tourist data with reasonable forms, and we uniform our maps and charts colors according to our website's theme colors to present aesthetics. There are some details. We use map of different contrasts to split zones. It is significant enough to remind tourists. We will design chart type to show proportions and ranks. Related images are also important to navigating tourists. Tooltip is a useful tool in this theme. Specifically for pie chart, we don't provide tooltips as it has enough information, but we provide tooltips for both bar charts as they need to hide too much information, but to show them if tourists need. Finally, differently from government or company audiences, tourists will feel boring if we only list the data or charts. Thus, we provide some comments as another kind of presentation of information to serve tourists.
This section will be introduced to answer the following 3 questions. Distributions in the map, most popular POIs under each categories, and the reason of recommending this POI. In this section is about the recommendation for traveling. We divide the traveling section into 3 parts: art, culture, leisure, entertainment, and the nature, wildlife. In the map box, we can have brief view in the distribution of POI in the Melbourne. Our tools are able to make traveling plan from the map box. According to the data collected from the Google, Zomato, TripAdvisor, we utilize the bubble chart to display our findings and the recommendations. This bubble chart framework is based on the G2 framework. Rating and comments number are represented as X and Y respectively. The size of bubble is the expanse of POI. This bubble chart can clearly demonstrate the most popular and the highest rating POI. Also, word cloud is a method to show why these POI are popular and worth visiting. The other 2 categories have the same frame as art and culture category.
Here are several messages that can be delivered through this interface under the travel section. First, for findings from the map. Art and culture POIs are mainly concentrated in the city center, especially Melbourne CBD, South Bend. So it is recommended to arrange several destinations to visit together. Leisure and entertainment POIs are scattered, but basically scattered alongside the Yarra River, which might due to the fact that the sceneries along the river are more attractive. Only 3 nature and wildlife POIs are presented in the Melbourne CBD, while the rest are dispersed to areas further away. One suggestion here for tourists is to reasonably arrange their destinations and allow sufficient time to prevent schedule delays. Second, for findings from the bubble chart. It is obvious to find a positive correlation between rating and comments. We choose the top 3 POIs with both highest rating and most reviews under each categories. The results are showing on the screen. As for the findings from the word cloud, under art and culture category, the keywords from tourists' comments are street, history, beautiful, and experience, which indicates that what attracts tourists most are not only the uniqueness of Melbourne's street art and gallery collections, but also the heavy sense of their long history. If a tourist is enthusiastic about art or history, the recommended destinations could be good choices. Next, under leisure and entertainment, the keywords are food, shopping, market, and amazing. In Melbourne, people will find a galaxy of markets, shopping malls, cafes, and bars. They are ideal places for social catch-ups. For tourists who love shopping and food or want to have a speculator view of the city, the recommended destinations are worthwhile to be taken into consideration. Finally, for the nature and wildlife category, the results show that it is always a pleasure for tourists to walk around the garden, enjoy the beauty of nature, as well as hold parent-child activities like picnics. It is believed that our recommended destinations are typically popular with kids. Okay, that's all what we want to deliver today. Thanks for your listening.